Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for the amazing educational realms of episodes and chapters of stuff and things and learning about amazing, astounding, etc. Uh, and uh, and stuff like that, as Patch Lennon would say. Okay, so um,
You got a delay in your thing. It's like we're getting it twice.
you need to close Twitch.
Oh, what I'm doing is I'm getting the audio from the thing, and I'm also getting.
All right, so I need. Let me figure out that.
Um, yeah, it says.
So I think I got it all.
How's that working? Is it still echoing?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so I'm on as you know, my daughter got some spoiled chicken, and she got uh, diarrhea. She got a food poisoning, and so I'm in her room, and there's renovations going on in here for her live stream and everything like that. But she's resting and she's doing pretty well in bed now. She's watching her, somebody doing a stream or something. She's watching a streamer. So I hope we're not going to get hit with a copyright or something. I don't think we will. But I'm setting up OBS in this room, and I wanted to review the issues of the docs, right? So by default, OBS doesn't open up all the docs. You have scene sources, audio mixer, scene transitions, controls that are open by default, right? Um, this monitor, I don't know if it will take the layout that my other monitor will take, but I'm going to try. So here I'll open the stats doc, and I want to insert it down here. Were you able to see that?
Yeah, I can see it on this end.
All right, so I need to get my magnifier up so I can use it when necessary. I need to pin it to the taskbar. So I'm going to activate it. And we're going to be looking at some of the website stuff today. So I right click on the magnifier icon at the bottom of the screen there on the taskbar. You see that? And I choose the option Pin to Taskbar. So I can always have the zoom in capability, and we can see what I've got here on the bottom. Now, where the magnifier dropped out, when you're using this magnifier, you need to put it somewhere where you know exactly in your screen layout where it is. Because it's going to slip off the screen. You understand? And if you forgot where you put it, you'll be thrashing around trying to get your scene lined up. Do you understand?
Right.
All right. So I'm like thinking of an innocuous place, and like just beyond this help bar up here is what I'm gonna settle on, and I'm gonna bring it on up to 300 and go to the settings, and let's see. In the magnifier settings, I want to have the magnifier set to go up by increments of 300. So change zoom increments. I'm going to change that to 200%. Right now, I just changed the zoom level. Right, and now I'm back to my regular size. Right now, since I set it to zoom by 200%, that means when I turn it on, it should go from 100 to 300%. So you should see everything on my screen pretty well and clear. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to zoom back out again, right? And I'm going to go and close this settings thing for magnifier. And I'm going to see about getting my docs open. So I open stats, going to open chat. Now, I drag it over here to the side, and I get like a gray indicator indicating that it's ready to be docked. So I let it be docked there. Now, before I said you needed to make this a special width because why? Oh, Barry Beast. Oh, thanks for telling me, Barry. All right.
Because you don't.
Now, say I click on your name, right? And I want to follow you or something. Well, I don't know if it's working or not. Now it's hung up. That panel that comes up that gives me the follow actually moves, right? So if I put my mouse on the top of it and hold down the left mouse button and drag, okay, here's Barry Beast has come up. Now notice I can hit follow. Hey Barry, I don't know okay. Oh, so wait a minute. I was trying to follow you. Dang it. It's laggy or something. But okay, yeah, there. So I've got to follow, but now how do I get rid of this thing? And I thought that you had to make the chat a certain width in order for you to be able to move it around. Actually, it may be, in fact, that you do have to do that. I'm not sure. I've got real severe lag going on. It was running well, but what I had just noticed is that I could drag this around so I could be able to hit the X on the right side of it by holding down the mouse and dragging from the top. But it's not working right now. But I think my whole system is like so lagged out that the OBS interface is not responding. That's why. Okay, now. I think it's come back. There we go. This thing is movable. You see that? I can drag it over and then close it by hitting X, right? If my machine's not lagging like all get out. Let me see if I go to a blank screen, if I can get a little bit better performance. No, I'm experiencing real super lag. So is my audio okay? Guess not.
Yeah, your audio is a little tinny, but it's fine.
Yeah. All right. So I've opened the stream information.
Even your video.
My stream information, I'm going to dock it there. My Twitch stats. I'm trying to dock. Well, and you see it just on this screen layout. It will allow me to put one on top of the other like that. So I'll have a scroll bar, but it's not, and I'm not sure why it's not working the same as it did on my other thing. I'm trying to have all the docks open so I can see absolutely everything that's going on my page, right? Now, okay, that worked. So I can see the new follows and all that stuff. Okay, so I've got a basic layout set up here, and what I would sort of like to be able to show, alternatively to this display capture here, is a window capture. And the window capture that I would like to add is going to be a browser. And I'm going to call this Chrome. And hit OK. I'm getting ready to zoom in now. All right, so this is the new, see how it says up here, properties for Chrome, right? And it defaulted to the magnifier window, so I want to set it to Chrome EXE. And then I'm going to go OK. All right, and I'm gonna zoom back out, and there it is. There's my my Chrome browser, and you can see it can overlay cleanly over the top of my display capture. Now, let me show you. So right now you see my layout, right? I hope. If I turn that off, I can see my display capture, which has OBS maximized.
Yeah, whatever you did, now I see your layout. Before I was seeing the Google domains page.
Well, okay. Let me zoom in. Yeah, that's right. I want to zoom in on the sources panel. Now, this display capture, just to be clear, I'm going to rename it. See that? And I'm going to rename it primary display. So I'm clear about what I've got. Now, the other thing is a fully maximized Chrome browser window. So if I hit that I can turn it off, right? And it's blinking. You can see the Chrome browser will now take over my screen. And that really looks blurry, doesn't it? Which I'm really not sure why that is. Hold on. I'm going to go into the, I'm going to zoom out and set it to Windows 10. That made it better, didn't it? Let's zoom in on it again. No, that didn't make it better. So this is a problem. Shoot, who can use that? Why? Oh, And I sort of know why. Okay, yeah, I know why. All right, so really, what I should be doing is not like I should reset the transform of this. So I'm going now, I right click on it and go to transform, and I hit reset transform. And I'm going to go to my primary display. I'm going to turn this off, go to my primary display, right click on it, select transform, and then select reset transform. Now it fills up the whole screen, right? Can you see that? All right, so I'm going to turn that off and turn Chrome back on.
It just went black.
That's right. It's because I turned it off.
I'm getting a black screen. Yeah.
So, say you need this is our content. Say you need to find a domain, you search for a domain that's available. So this is MDB1988. It's available. I choose it and I buy it with Google Pay, right, for $12 a year. And I set it for automatic repay, right? So there it is. And you have, well, okay, what I need to do is actually get out of this OBS display of this thing. That's what my problem is. And get, okay, that's perfect, right? Yeah, okay. So now, I'm not used to having a single monitor, right? But I'm going to zoom out on this now that everything's clear. I can see it. I'm sorry for being so spaced out. But if I'm going to go back, this is domains.google.com, right? So I buy a domain, right? And I hit manage. And by default, Google is going to set its, this is what I see, right? And they have registration settings. And this is where I put my contact information. You see that? Have you done this before? I think you probably have.
Maybe. Well, I bought my domains through GoDaddy.
All right. So this is the Google situation. And what you're going to get when you first open this is you're going to get default name servers. And you're going to see the Google domain servers listed here. But what has happened is at the top of this window, I had my e-commerce websites set up on Pressable, right? So my WordPress site is on a company called Pressable, and they have name servers, right? So I go in here, I go manage name servers, and I copy and paste one by one the name server addresses, and this is the list of them. I copy them in here, and it says these DNS settings are active. Changes are published immediately, but may take time to propagate, right? So
Right.
I bought the domain. It had the default name servers. What I have to do is go to my Pressable site, get these DNS servers and copy their addresses, put them in here and save it. And I have to add a domain. here, let's see if I can get back to the top. So sites, this is their technical support people talking to me. All right. But, okay, this is a particular management panel for a hosting service called Pressable, right?
Right.
And
Right.
it has like a staging site and a primary site, so you can test stuff out before you make it go live on your e-commerce site.
Right.
Now, as I may have mentioned before, I had considerthelilies.org was the website of the bookstore. That's where all our Google ads, all the promotion stuff and the paid promotion stuff that we've had going since we started the bookstore was going to that considerthelilies.org. Now, what transpired was, what I did here is when I open this page, there's an option to add a domain. So I add this. I bought the domain on Google. I came back here. I added it as a domain, right? I hit the star to make it the primary domain. So this is my mdb1988.com. And then all I have to do is copy the DNS. Here, you see this list here
Right.
with these little copy things. I copy those, and I make this one the primary by making the blue star there. And then I go over to the Google site on the Manage Domains page. Let me see if I can find it again. I don't want that. Here, Google Domains. And I paste those in and I save it. All right. And then the moment of truth is, can you see that web page? I think you can.
I see the Google page.
Yeah. mdb1988.com. And I hit enter. And I've done a little bit of page editing on here. So this is the considerthelilies.com bookstore. See, it's still there. But what now I have changed, I've gone into the editor and I have changed the name of the store to Mary D. McBride's Books.
Right.
For tax reasons. If you start something with your, like you say you want to start a business, as long as you don't have a fake name like Zippo's Gonzo Popcorn or something,
Right.
and you just call it Ken Kistner's Fart Blossom Delight Dishes or something like that.
Right.
It's Ken Kistner's something or another I sell. Ken Kistner's stuff, right? You don't have to get a business license to operate. Because that's like saying, well, I'm a dude and I have something, I just want to sell it to my friend. I don't really have to get a business license to do that.
Right.
But if you're going to make a name like Seal Pup or something like that, there has to be legal recourse. Like, who the hell is the person behind Seal Pup that I'm trying to get in touch with, right? And okay, so what happened is we had the considerthelilies.org domain, and Ionos is a domain management company, and the company that I had my domain with was merged with Ionos. And I got a notice from Ionos that there was going to be a merger and that I would now manage my domain on the Ionos webpage. All right. So
Right.
the merger happened, and they said, we'll offer you a special deal. Now, I had noticed that I wanted to change the domain name, but I wanted to have everybody who knew us by Consider the Lilies, who had saved our address because of all the money that we put into the advertising for Consider the Lilies.
Right.
I wanted there to be a redirect where when people went to Consider the Lilies, it wasn't just gone, right?
Right.
There would be a redirect to a simpler web page. Now, why did I want to change it? Well, I mean, I had forgotten that the United States has its educational level has really dropped. People are reading less. Like it's like they can go out and do those man on the street questions. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like they walk up to a guy and they're like, "Tell me the name. Can you tell me the name of a country that begins with a U?" And the guy's like, "Yugoslavia." Right? I mean, he's dead serious, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know, and that's like if you know about humor, you notice how you laughed, right?
Right.
Because there's and one of the theories is that it's layers of stupid because it's wrong in more than one way or many ways, right? Like for example, an unexpected. Here's a guy on the street, America, a United States citizen that doesn't know his own country begins with a U,
Right.
right? Not only that, he mentions a country that he thinks begins with a U because it sounds like Yugoslavia. It doesn't begin with a U either.
Yeah.
It begins with a Y. And on top of that, there's no such country anymore because it's been broken up into three different countries: the United States and Europeans that want a united South Slavic Republic, right? It was a unified country of South Slavs, but they were leftist, and so the West, worked to destroy that country. It doesn't even exist anymore. So it's like he names a country that doesn't exist anymore. He can't spell it. He can't spell the name of his own country. He doesn't know his own country begins with the letter U. I mean, USA, my God. Right? And it's funny. We laugh about stuff like that. But the thing is, it's like that kind of humor. People that did stand-up comedy, they used to study that to fake it because they really weren't that stupid. But now we're in a place where we really do have people that are that dumb.
Stupid. Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
now, or ignorant. Let's not call them stupid. Let's just say that they're ignorant, right? Okay. Well, what happened with Consider the Lilies is I would go, oh yeah, our website is Consider the Lilies, and somebody goes to put it on their smartphone, and of course they're like, consider. How do you spell consider? Lilies. How do you? Yeah, is that one word or three words or right? Nobody
Right.
could type it, right? So I needed to change it. But I wanted to have a redirect So every customer that's familiar with us by browsing that, maybe bookmarked us, was thinking about buying something, but has not yet bought something, would have a redirect. Now, back to my story. Um, we were taken over by Ionos, and Ionos said, wouldn't you like to buy more domains? Um, Reserve more domains for your existing domain, alternative domains, to more secure it, and they offered a very nice special deal. And so I thought of ctlbooks.com, ctlbooks.org, etc. And I bought 3 of those, and I bought a domain for David McBee for my own Symbio stock photography site. Now, since my
What are they charging you a year for those alternate sites?
I don't know. Well, let's see. What did I buy? I bought 4 additional ones. And what it was, it's like they go, here's a special deal for just $1, right? You can reserve all these domains. So it's like $4 or something. But then the next year it goes up to something like $23.
Right. Yeah, that's the gotcha.
Right. Okay. So I see that come around, and I'm like, well, just let them expire, because I had to come home to stay with my daughter, and I couldn't get my wife's support or cooperation on it, so I just let them expire. And I said, well, I had reserved the David MCB for my personal gain, right? And since my wife is in this for her personal gain, it's not really a valid thing to bring to the table for her to contribute anything to, right? So I let that expire too, and that's where my stock photography Symbio stock site was supposed to be set up. Okay, so I let those 4 expire, and then I get a notice when the year comes around, the time comes around that I need to renew, consider the lilies before it expires. And I click on the link, and it said, oh, you can no longer use this link, right? And essentially, they took a dim view. They were like, well, you let those expire, but it's our policy to hang on to them for just in case, right? So you need to pay us 90 something dollars, right, for us to release, for us to give you a code so you can get your Consider the Lilies site, so you can pay your, well, no, it was like, because you let those expire. This is Ionos now. Because you let those expire, and out of our good graces, we held on to them as a reserve space for you. You still have to pay us, and we're not going to accept a debit card. We won't let you renew your Consider the Lilies.org site with your debit card either. You have to go down to the bank and make a cashier's check. Well, it's like pulling teeth to get my wife to give me the $90 to go down there, right? And I get down there and like, well, a cashier's check is going to cost you another $30 or $40, which I didn't have.
What?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So after waiting an hour in the bank for service or whatever, they come out, they're like, oh yeah, we can do this for you, but it's going to cost you another $30 or $40. So then I had to, I get back in the car, the baby's crying for groceries, and of course my wife wants to not buy the groceries and say it's my fault that the baby doesn't have the food that she needs, right?
Right.
So I take the $90 that I did have, and I went and I bought the groceries because I'm not leveraging, that kind of like letting some innocent person suffer
Right.
to for your whatever purposes or whatever. Just we're not going to have that, right? So I went down there and I told her, right, and then I came back again. I said, well, it's going to be more than that, and she wants to ask a lot of questions. Well, I think eventually you gave me the site. Now, when I was gave me the money I needed to go down there, didn't you?
Yeah,
It's,
I think I PayPal'd you the
yeah,
money.
I think you did. Okay. So when I had been on the phone with Ionos, I was like, I'm sorry. I was talking to all these support agents, and I have a tendency. I've been a support agent myself. I talk to them and I go, you know, if I'm getting upset, I'm like, um, let me just be perfectly clear that I realize that it's not your fault and that you're just an employee of the company and you have to do this. But I've never experienced anything like this. And I didn't opt to join the company Ionos. They were, I just got an email that said they had bought some other company and therefore I was going to be under them from now on, right? Okay, and the guys were understanding, but this one lady, she was like, well, at that time my bookstore was still open. The Consider the Lilies was still working, and you could still open the bookstore, right? But this lady said, well, I could release it for you, right? I could go ahead and release it for you. And I said, okay, well, she released it for me, and instantly my site disappeared, right? So I call them back up, and they said, well, you go get a domain with your, and I told them online, I was like, I'm a small business, and to be on the phone for hours with you guys and you won't take my money and I have to go to the bank. I've never experienced anything like that. And I need to go to a company